podcast today. Today we have with us Shank Pokli, aka the product guy. So we'll be discussing about all about design. So hi Shank, could you please introduce yourself to our audience, please?
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Ishank, and I am been into design for past 2 years, and I have around professional experience for 1.5 years. I'm doing internships. I've done around 4 internships in the past 1.5 years, and this is platform Hackerverse. We are doing podcast, and this is Metaverse. I have done internship in this company also Hackerverse.io, and the avatars you can see that's Doctor Strange that I have. Fezan have Thor. So these all are made by me. So this is what I'm doing in my past years. I have been into designing for US UI designing, graphic designing, and multiple design processes. So that's about me. And sure, you can continue, Faizan.
Yeah, your designs are quite impressive actually. I loved the Thor design, that's why I chose that one. So what got you into product design basically?
Yeah. So basically, first, I have like in the first process, I just went for US UI designing through Google certification, that is professional UX design process for Google. So I've completed that. And after completing that, I got internship as US UI designer in IND Spirit Technologies. That is a startup based in Chennai. So I worked for them. And after a while, after a couple of months, I have got another internships of graphic designing. I've tried different designing processes, and product designing is totally different. To be a product designer, you need something a little bit about all the design processes, like graphic designing a bit, UX UI designing a bit, avatars a bit, and map designing a bit. So you should know the basics of designing, and your hand should be in multiple design processes. Then you can be a product designing. So after giving myself a lot of time in different design processes, I decided to be a product designer so that like all my experience in different paths can combine and can build a whole product. So that's why product designing is my field now. So yeah, that's it.
That's quite a good story. By the way, in your answer, you mentioned the word quite a lot of times. So, as a product designer, how do you define the term design?
Yeah, so design is anything you see attractive, or maybe you can see anything that makes you touch that thing, or maybe call to action simpler. So that is what design is. Everything has its own design, even a globe, even a map, even colors, shades, even plants, everything have its own design. So it's on you that how you make that. So users will like it. So if users are liking it, you are successful. So that is what design is. Simple, like any shape or size that makes a user that part clickable. Or basically, you can say in more complex terms as we can say a good design is what makes dopamine release in a user. So that is what a good design is.
So, when we get into the design field, there are various design field. I think is distributed in various sectors as well. Like there's graphic design, there's product design, then there's the term UI UX as well, and then there's fashion design, a lot of designs. So how what is like how do you differentiate product design from the other types of design?
Yes, there are many design processes and design types like interaction designs and user experience design, graphic designing, user interface designing, and product designing, and many more. So basically, we can say design is a parent. Then comes product designing. Under product designing, there comes many shades. So fashion designing is totally different. Every field have its own different, we can say, a different niche for designing. For example, product designing have many paths. Not just UX design, not just interaction design. Maybe we can see you can see packages of the things. I have one package here of Boya. It's Boya microphone. So it is basically a package. So to design this pouch, to design the logo in the center and to make the recall thing. For example, if you buy an iPhone, so there's one Apple logo there and the design is more simpler than any other product. So that is because the hard work of the design team. So that packaging design is totally different. Interaction design is totally different. User experience, user interface design is totally different. So we can say design is a parent. Under that there comes product design. Under that there comes many terms like graphic design, user interaction design, user experience design, and many more. User experience design is basically, we can say, um, a design that is made by a researcher or by acknowledging the key points of a researcher that researched about the user journeys and how the user will feel after using that product or a design. For example, we can see Instagram. Instagram and Snapchat and every other social media platform leaders right now. So we can see Instagram as example. When you get a message, you get a pop-up. You get a different shade of color. We can say the total color of Instagram is different from any other application right now. So that is because that makes the nature of a human addictive to that application. So this is the real life example of user experience design, which was made by doing the user research that our users will get addicted to our application. So that is part of user experience design. User interaction design is what you click on your laptop, on your mobile phones, and then where you land up, there's user interaction. Graphic designing is by name you are getting it graphics, 2D graphics, 3D graphics. Under graphic designing we have different parts. 3D graphics, 2D graphics. 2D graphics contains uh, this Instagram post, LinkedIn post, brochures, and posters. And 3D designs contain, we can say, 3D models. Like you can see cars going on in 200 kilometers speed in videos that are not real cars. Those are 3D models. Those are 3D modeling, 3D graphics. You can see Pepsi and Coca-Cola cans moving down slowly, and liquid is getting flow away. So that is not in the real life camera and all the stuff. That has not happened. That is just 3D models. So under graphic designing, 3D modeling comes in. So these all are part, and if you know every design a bit, you can easily be a product designer.
All right, I'm sure many people who are unaware of the terms like UI, UX, and other in the areas of design. So I'm sure they've got to know many of the things. So while designing a product, there are some steps and processes which we need to follow. So could you please describe what are the processes which you follow while designing a product?
Yeah, so I will make it more simpler because I have seen many courses on different platforms, boot camps, and we can say like in this course from Google also. Many things were simpler, I will not say complicated, but it was like not everything was in one place. So I will just give you one uh, first step, make a product document. Whatever you are going to build, make a product document. I think Atlassian have its own product document template that is more than enough. It contains every part, user interaction, user experience, personas, everything. So the first step is make a product document. Like just start a template, just write down the problem statement. So the second part is write down the product's problem statement clearly, whatever is the problem statement. For example, you are seeking to build an application for your client who wants that users should book cabs in just a second, and like Ola or Uber, but they want the yellow theme or maybe more we can say user reviews perspective, because there is, like in Ola and Uber, you can't see reviews that easily. You can't rate your, like, if you rate your driver, it will show the ratings. But for example, there are 10 drivers around me. If you click on cab, then cab will come down, and then you will find the ratings, or maybe when your cab is booked. So the problem statement is the more user perspective, more user centric application for the cab drivers. So if that is the problem statement, then write that problem statement and then start working on it. The second part is doing research. First part a product statement. I'm uh, thinking like that. Product documentation is the parent and then child's coming. First part of the child is go to the problem statement, search that, find that, write it down to the product document. Second part is do the user research. Do the all the part that what the user wants. Is the problem statement clear? Is the problem statement needs any, we can say, changes or anything that should be acknowledged? Find that what user really want and what problem user is actually facing in that field. If you can solve that. Third part is do competitive analysis, do competitive research. Like if I talk about this Ola application, we can say we are building a competitor for Ola and Uber. Go to their application, find out what they don't have, make a matrix, for example cab driver reviews, make right or wrong in every aspect, and then make your own column for your application and write it down that what you really want in this application that should be different for from this two applications or three applications, whatever market leader and competitor you have. Then directly, or don't start designing, just like find the USP. We can say the fourth step will be find the user centric proposition that should be different for your application, and we can say that should make you unique. If you find that, your design process will be more easier. And then comes the design part, then design the actual product. So if you are building user interaction design for an application, I'm talking about application right now because first we talk about Ola competitor, right? So let's give it user car application. So we are building user car application. So for building that application, the design process, everything you noted down in your product document, right? Competitive analysis, user research, problem statement. Then comes to wireframe. You should wireframe the things that how things will actually look like, and then make that thing on Figma or maybe Adobe XD on whatever platform you like the most. I recommend Figma because Figma is free. Now Adobe literally bought that, so I don't know that what gonna happen next. But as of 27 September 2022, it is free. So it is free now. If you go there, you can just build low fidelity prototype first, like how our application will work, how the things will work, how the flows will work a bit. Then go for the user testing part. If you build a, we can say, very minimalistic design with low features, but the exact features and the USPs you want to user should be used. So just make that, share their prototype with your friends, with your families, and with couple of more users that are targeted audience. For example, you want that user cab. So go to your friends and say that you want to book a cab. Check this application out. I build that. So I basically build the user interface. Is this user flow more smoother, more easy than our competitors? If it doesn't, restart the process, or maybe we can say don't restart it because your cost cutting will be more. So just go for, we can say, quick designs. So just interact, just like user is the leader, so you want everything should be go according to the user, right? So just find yourself that you are working for the user perspective only. If that things work out, go for the high fidelity prototype at next. So when you build the high fidelity prototype, So all the design processes are done, all the graphics or the text formats or the gradients, all the things are inputted. Then go for launching. Launching and landing are two different things. You can launch the things, and if that doesn't work, that this not gonna be land. So just launch that, and then just do the user research and user testing again and again, because market is so uneven, anything can comes in and out. So I have explained the whole long process that what basically we can say a professional user experience and user interaction designer do. So graphic designer have a bit different criteria, but graphic designer, motion designer, and every type of designer have its different part, but it is nearly some kind of similar. The starting four phases of product document is same. Wireframe, low fidelity prototype, high fidelity prototype is also same, but the tools will be different. Like for 3D modeling, you can go for Unity or maybe Blender, and for 2D graphics, you can go to Canva, Photoshop. For US UI designing, you can go to Figma, you can go to Adobe XD. That are different, but the process is nearly same. Product document, user research, competitive analysis, or wireframe, low fidelity prototype, high fidelity prototype, launching and delivering to the market. So the process is nearly same, but the tools are different. I think I have
All right.
answered the question.
There's a follow-up question for that. So as a designer, which stage do you feel is the most complicated, and which stage is your most favorite while designing during this process?
Yeah, so I will just be honest. Everything is complicated if you don't put your mind and heart into that. So, like, I will give an example here. So, in graphics, if you know just Canva and things, you will get a job, maybe, I don't know, but that job will not give you that output that you desire, because you just know a tool, Canva, that maybe can be learned in maybe 1 month or 2 months, as specific. So that is the thing. So there are different stages. So the most risky stage is launching. So and maybe we can say complicated that literally heck with our minds is that launching part, because if we design, if we do the user research, if we did the user testing also, so if you are ready to launch, but there is one doubt in your head as a designer every time, that is the product is good. We can just put this font a bit more upwards. We can change the color gradient. Will that color works? So will our users will use that application? Will the users get addicted to that application? Or maybe we can say our part is to build a product in a lifestyle of our users. So if that is happening, we are successful. So we are always in doubt before launching that will this be successful? Will this be successful? That is more complicated part. And the most easy part, I can say, for that I enjoyed the most is making high fidelity prototype. There are many that should not be done that. You shouldn't be directly jumping into the high fidelity prototype. You should be going first. We can say low fidelity. Before that, it is wireframe. So I enjoyed wireframing not that much as compared to high fidelity prototype. So I directly jump to the high fidelity prototype frequently for just testing out my designing sprints. So if I am just like having time, I just open my laptop, I just open Figma and started designing high fidelity prototype. I even record sometimes. So I just make the designs that how this things work, and I'm just playing around with we can say text, we can say alignment of the things and how the things will look like. So in the high fidelity directly. So that I enjoy the most.
Okay, so I have another question is like I think consumer insights are crucial when you are designing some products. So what research methods do you follow like to gather the consumer insights before designing new products?
So there are many terms and many processes. So the most frequent process is online thing. For example, the most that I prefer is doing interviews online or the calls online. I usually call my friend and I will just give a brief about the thing and will ask that will you use this application. So and my friends are brutal, so they directly say no or yes. So so that's what happens. So as part of user research is done in their own processes. So the major process is interview as specific. You have your set of questions, you ask them one-on-one interviews. So in online, that is maybe we can say not that hard because uh, in offline interviews take a lot of time and energy. Even online interviews doesn't take that much time. You can just set up meetings in the late night or maybe early in the morning. So the online interviews are my mainstream user research points. And there is another part that we use a lot in our uh, processes, that is Google Forms and many surveys. We usually do surveys a lot so that we can know that our users are from which background, which stages, and what are their, we can say, needs. So we are really up to that.
Okay, that's a good answer actually, because I think customer insights are the most important thing while you're designing a product. So, going with that, when we see some products are, some look luxurious, some look, they have a good design and as well. So, what are the element of product design which is responsible so that product looks like this compared to other products? Some are
So
luxurious, some are not luxurious.
yeah, sure. I understood this question, and this question is, we can say, more interesting. So there is one startup known as Cred, right? So Kunal Shah, right? It is owned by Kunal Shah. So uh, basically, Cred design is really out of the box, really outstanding. So I've used their application for a couple of times, and their, we can say, advertisement team is so creative. Advertisement team and interaction team, the design team is so strong of Cred. So we can say that before Cred there were more applications in the market, but the design was not that level. Cred disrupt the design parts more, and they built the creativity things. Many other companies also did that before. So yeah, but you can see Google Pay. You can see Google Pay. You can just open that application, put your fingerprints, open the scanner, scan and pay. But for Amazon Pay, you have to open the Amazon, go to your profile page, go to Amazon Pay, and then you have to click the scanner. So it took three more steps for me to open the Amazon Pay. And for Google Pay, it just took one step. Open that application, click on scanner. Same for the Paytm. So I'm just trying to say that there are many designers in the world, many creative people in the world. So whole processes are different. Amazon tried to build a giant application, having shopping, having mini TV, having a payment application there. That is great. So they just built one application with many things. They don't have their design for the next level, but they have multiple features listed in. But Paytm, Paytm have more good design. PayPal have more good design, and we can say Google Pay. Google Pay have really good design and AI. So that is just because their call to action was clear. Call to action was clear for Amazon too, that they want to make a giant application. Call to action was clear for Google Pay too. They want a simple application for payments. So like we can say the clarity should be clear for the problem statement, and to build a clear problem statement you need to practice, and because of your problem statement only you will be able to build your application. So the processes are totally different and it totally depends upon the design teams and designer, and also a problem statement. So lastly I just said that uh, Amazon have different like problem statement and Google Pay have different problem statement. So in their own fields, they tried their best, and that was the giant application best one. That was the payment application best one. So you also have to take into consideration that in which field which design is building on. So you can't just say that this design is bad. So just look after that what the features are in, how things are going on. If you want this design to be whole renewed, so what you have to do? Will the money will be more, will the features will be less, so how the things will manage? So it totally depends on the problem statement and the user perspective, and how the users are accepting it. If the user are not accepting it, design is failed. If the user is accepting it, the design is successful. Simple. So that is why many applications outstand, because of the thinking of out of the box and making the problem statement more understandable and call to action more clear.
With that, I reach to my last question. But in my last question, I'll be asking two questions. It will be a combination of two questions.
Sure,
The
sure.
question is like the in your last answer, you mentioned about startups like Cred and all. So, as you know, India is a country where there are a lot of startups coming day to day. So and also you know that marketing is a necessity in startups. So how important is design in marketing? Secondly, do you think AI will have any impact on design in future?
So both the questions are different and they have their different answers. So I will just take that first part, marketing part, as the first question. So yeah, so in marketing, design is essential. So I have recently saw, it was old design, but I have saw this again yesterday maybe. That was a Mercedes. Mercedes, a car was there and their headlights were on, and one Buffalo was there and Buffalo's inner parts, like organs, were visible, right? So have you saw that? So the clear action was that, like clear indication was the headlights are strong. So the feature that they want to be as a mainstream was shown effectively. So you can see many ads. So there are many ads that doesn't make sense at all. The perfume one, that if you are adding perfume, girls are coming on. That doesn't make any sense. But the lifestyle, they shows the lifestyle, the royal lifestyle, and that's all. That's totally a different part. But if we come to the design for packaging, design for interactions, design for posters, marketing materials, post, so more minimalist design is, more chances for the users to understand it will be. So if the design is clear and simple and have more spaces, for example, you can directly see here only in Hackerverse only. You can see that the two avatars are there. One is of Ishank, one is of yours, Faizan. So, and there is press E to leave written. So if I click on E, then I will be left from that. Other spaces are not that much important for us now, right? All the spaces. So it totally defined the two screens that is showing our camera and the two part Ishank and Faizan avatars. So that is because it is like it is in the center. It is not on the right, it is not on the left. That because we should put our attention here only. So in marketing, that makes sense to build things in the center, or maybe we can say more minimalistic, so that users can recall the brand easily and user can understand the message easily. So this is all about this question. The second question was about AI, right?
Before you answer that question, let me tell you why did I ask that question. Because as you know, design is an important aspect of marketing, and as you know that AI is replacing labor in many of the industries. So what I meant was like, will AI impact the design industry, and will it impact the jobs as well for the design? What impact will AI have on the design?
Sure. So in design part, the AI is like a villain. So AI will definitely kill jobs, especially in AI. I don't know about any other field. I'm not talking about any other field. But our jobs are in, we can say, in danger mouth or something, because AI is speeding right now. The fast AI speed on, we will be losing our jobs for sure. Because as of now, AI is building their own music. You have heard about that, right? AI is building their own rhythms, own music that have never been heard. Any human being never made that, and AI is building their own. That is because of data science. That is because of algorithms, the AI parts. So if that is going on, even AI, like you can see Wix and maybe many other frameworks, those are building websites by AI only. So AI will soon be changing that. AI will soon taking user interaction design into hands, and we can say user experience design also, because more data they have. As a human, we don't have data that much. But if we give tons of data to AI, they will give us more interactive design than any human being can ever. So that is a part. AI will kill our jobs for sure. But we need humans at all. We literally need humans for sure. Like humans can think out of the box. AI doesn't have that feelings perspective, so that's why AI lacks a bit. But AI will definitely replace, but not 100% we can say, the topmost people in design, and the newcomers also who have different perspective, different styles of designs, and different approach to designs will definitely survive.
So the ones who have heard this conversation, I must be sure that you have relieved now, because your jobs are at risk, but AI can't think out of the box. Uh, Humans can. So I'm sure many of them must be happy after that statement. So that's it. I'm sure you got to. It was a very interactive session as well. Thank you for answering my questions, Ishan. And I'm sure everyone got to know about design, different areas of design, what is the process, what's the most complicated process. uh, so thank you. Sure, we'll have you one time more.
Thank you, Fazan.